Good morning, students, and welcome to chapter 4 of your history in the earlier cities. What will we study in this lesson? The story of Harappa, the story of Indus Valley civilization. Around 150 years ago, when one railway line was being laid down in Punjab, now in Pakistan, the engineers stumbled upon this site of Harappa. About 80 years ago, an archaeologist found the site and termed that this was one of the oldest cities in the world. Now, the time period of this civilization could be from around 4700 years ago to 2500 years ago. That means it lasted for around 800 years. Now, this civilization extended to a much larger area. Excavations carried out at many Indian cities like Lothal, Kalibangan, Dholavira, and very recently Rakhi Garhi in Haryana. The remains found over here are somewhat same of those found at Harappa. So we can say that this civilization extended to a much larger area. The city of Lothal was a city on the banks of the tributaries of the river Sabarmati. A bead factory was found here. It was the center of making stones, shells, and metal objects. A storehouse, fire altars were also found here. A dockyard was here, showing that it was the center of trade. Now, what was special about these cities? A Harappan city was usually divided in two parts, citadel and the lower town. The part on the western side was higher but smaller. It had a special building made on high raised platform. Like in Mohenjo-daro, there was a great bath. The Dholavira city was divided into three parts with walls around it. Now, the eastern part was larger but lower. Archaeologists called it the lower town. It was the place where the houses were built in a planned way. Burnt bricks were used to build it. The Great Bath was found in Mohenjo-daro. It was built with burnt bricks and coated with plaster. To make it watertight, a layer of natural tar was applied. On the either side, steps lead downwards. It was a special feature built in the city. There were changing rooms on all sides of it. Maybe this was a place that was used on special occasions. Now, if we talk about the housing system in Harappan civilization, the houses were built with burnt bricks. The houses were either single or double storied. Each house was connected with the drainage system. Each house had a plastered flooring and walls. Every house had an oven in the kitchen. Every third house had a well. Moving on to the occupations of Harappan people, they were started doing new jobs rather than just being only farmers and herders. The rulers were the people who controlled the city affairs. The construction of the planned cities required special skills. Some people did the construction work. Scribes were people who knew how to write. They prepared seals. Craftspersons were who made all the different kinds of things from pottery to jewelry. It's a very sad part that still the earliest form of writing has not been deciphered. Moving on, what was faience? Faience was a substance. It was artificially produced, sand mixed with some powdered quartz, and it was used to make the glassy surface beads, bangles, earrings, and tiny vessels. Next, what kind of food people ate during those times? Wheat and barley were the main crops. People used to dig earth and plant seeds around their settlements. and goat and buffalo were the animals that were commonly reared by Harappans. With this, we come to the last part of the lesson, the decline of the civilization. This civilization lasted for around 6 to 800 years. The reasons for its decline could be: some scholars suggest that the rivers dried up, which made them move out. Others say that there was vast deforestation. Overgrazing by large herds of cattle and wild herbivores destroyed the green covers. Some areas faced natural calamities, floods, or earthquakes. Some scholars are of the view that famines and epidemics might have ended the civilization. Others suggest that they were attacked by Aryans. Maybe the rulers were not able to control the people. The people started to break the laws. All these points could have led to the decline of Indus Valley civilization. With that, we come to the end of this lesson. Thank you, and now you can do the reading of the lesson from the book.